Okay, final video here, and not because these questions aren't important, but because almost everyone got the rest of these questions right. I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. So measured in a square, variance. So if the original unit is inches, the variance of that will be inches squared. A lot of times variance doesn't make sense, which is why we then take the square root and get a standard deviation, because standard deviation is in the actual original units. Okay, Jacob Cohen said -2 is low, negative 0.2, or sorry, 0.2 is low, 0.5 is medium, 0.8 is large. Although, again, as he said, it really depends on what the study is looking at, but those are the standards that have become used across education and many other social science fields. Factorial design, they're pretty complicated, but the main thing you need to know is that you would use them to test for an interaction. In other words, is the effect stronger at certain levels of the one of the independent variables? Does the homework reading help work for females but not for males? So is there a different kind of effect depending on what your independent variable value is? Okay. Um, okay, so we basically have a curve that would look something like this. Sorry, I should have had some kind of pen here. But it's shifted to the right. The bulk of the curve is shifted to the right, which, as I mentioned in the video, is counterintuitive, but that is called negative skewed. The negative comes from the tail being at the negative end of that. So exam scores there would be negatively skewed. Final exam scores and a student's course grade. Certainly you would hope that students who learned a lot and performed on the final exam well would get a good grade in the course, and vice versa, which would be a strong positive relationship. The higher of one, the higher of the other. Okay. Inferential statistics. The whole point is to be able to say something about the population, which is what you care about, from the sample, which is what you have. And yeah, and the reason we're not doing this, making generalizations, is because we're making the generalizations based on the data we get from the sample. We don't even know what the data is for the population a lot of the time. Okay, positively skewed, so it means no. This is the opposite of the question a couple questions ago. Now we have most of the students at the low end. In other words, the majority of the students did not score well. Nominal, type of automobile color, something that you don't give a numerical value to, at least not a numerical value that you can meaningfully put into formulas and calculations. Okay, strong negative means as one variable goes up, the other one almost always goes down. Doesn't necessarily mean that one is causing each other, but that's what we have going on there. Correlation coefficient is relationship between two measures. That's pretty much just a definition. We're just looking at two quantitative or continuous variables. Again, just a definition. A Likert is this different degrees of how much you agree with the statement that's given to you. Okay, this is just different types of test, another definition, standardized. Okay, mean is often what is used. The one danger of it is you could get a few extreme outliers, like the billionaire that's sitting at your table at a wedding or something. So if we look at the average salary of your table, it's going to be blown out of proportion. So a single outlier, or especially a couple of them, could really inflate or deflate what the real center value is. So that's the problem with using the mean. And looks like everyone got this right. So I think you're getting a sense of external internal validity. So generalizing it, whatever you get from whatever results you find from the specific study you conduct, that's external validity. Generalizing it to the population or to any other groups of people. Okay. Hopefully that clarified some things, and it certainly should raise your grade. So hopefully we're both happy now going into the final weeks of the course. So thanks again for all your participation in the course, and we'll talk to you later.